KJ and Cam joining me now. Welcome, gents. Whew, got away with that one, KJ.
I might need to sue this club for my mental health and my physical health because, bruv, they put me through it. My head was on Mars in that first half, like gone, completely gone. Then my head was on Jupiter because Harry Maguire did a flipping 90th minute winner with his fat head. We've been needing one of those for months, and we finally got one, and Lord behold, it's offside. And before I get into it, it was offside. We need semi-automated offsides in England. We need VAR in all competitions at all stages. We need to find a way to help teams have them. So like the League Two teams, the National League team, we need to find ways to help them have VAR in these kind of games. Because if that was my team going out by that, I'll be fuming. Yeah. So I feel for Leicester in that sense. We need to fix that as a footballing country. We got lucky. It was offside. But we needed that to get through. We were dreadful. For the most of that game, we were awful. And this is the frustrating thing, because today is the first day I really had real beef with Amorim. I've been really patient with him. I've been really cool. Like I can see what he's trying to do. I can understand the position that he's in. But today, you've bought a new left wing back. We're all excited to see him. And you're playing right wing back. Okay, cool. So who's left wing back? It's Dalot. The same guy has been letting us down from left wing back for weeks, for months. He leaves him there and then puts the new left wing back that we've got on the right hand side. And it just fried my brain because we know the story of Dalot at left wing back and we saw it again in that first half, especially. And he was actually good, Dorgu. He was good. And then he takes him off. And obviously, my head's gone at this point. I thought he lost his mind. I thought he's trying to get himself sacked because what the hell are you doing? But I think the reason why he did it was because take the guy off who doesn't know the system as well, bring on Garnacho, leave players on that know the system as much as possible on the pitch and trying to win the game. And we won the game. The Garnacho sub was pivotal. He was very good. He did the things that we weren't doing in that first half, which was running at defenses, running into the space, because they were playing a high line at times, and we never took advantage of that. So he did that. He put some good crosses in, and we got a goal from it. Xerxes, I think, also as well coming on changed the game for us because we had a player whose stature could hold on to the ball. Rasmus, that first half I felt for him because we weren't giving him anything, but that second half he was not doing anything well for us. Mainu, one of the poorest games I've seen from Kobe this entire season, actually even ever. He weren't good. Anything that he tried to do didn't really work. There's a couple of times in that midfield where he could have just turned and ran, and he played it back. And I was like, when you're Terry, you got kids in there, and obviously you got little Kaya now on cam. When you're just watching them do something, and you just get vexed because you just know what they're doing is wrong. That's how I felt.
I say 0 brain cells when it happens. I'm like, this kid still has 0 brain cells.
You know what I'm saying? like I am obviously for you it's different. Terry might obviously feel a different way, but like, why was he doing that? Like the things I was doing today it was poor. Overall, Amorim needs to make those tweaks real quick because another team that isn't Leicester.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question though? I agree with you. I expected to see Dorgu and Dalot the other way around, but Dalot stayed on the left hand side in the second half. We started playing better when Garnacho had the balls. This is confidence thing to attack a fullback. No one in the first half wanted to attack. That then led to our goal, which I thought by that point we deserved because we were starting to attack. Then the system's the same. Dalot still on the left-hand side. Now, he still made mistakes on the ball because we know he ain't great in that position. But suddenly, Harry Winks didn't have space in the middle anymore. And we all heard the commentators go, wow, look at the space. We scored. Suddenly, they have no space. Suddenly, we're pressing them off the ball. Suddenly, we're conceding 0 opportunities. So for me, as much as I was frustrated with that initial decision by the manager, I'm still looking at these players and saying, hang on a minute, a goal suddenly makes us play better. That for me is purely and simply mentality and a confidence issue. And you said it, you mentioned me at halftime, KJ. These players look scared. And the title of my video, until we score those goals, wasn't, normally Liverpool are scary, Arsenal are scary. Mine was Man United are scared. And these all of them, they look petrified to make a mistake. You can see the fear. Why do you think that is? Why do you think these players are so petrified of making mistakes?
Well, I think it's a few things, right? Obviously, they still don't really get the system. I think once you also, it's like the NBA trade block. Once your name's put out there and certain names are put out there that people would never have expected, like a Garnacho, like a Manu, like those names were put out there. People knew it at the end of the day. And I think as your player, you're sitting there. If you want to be at United, you're scared now because you're like, oh, they're dead ass. They're serious. Like they will sell me. They might get rid of me this summer. If I make a mistake, everyone's going to be on me, especially when we're home. You see it more because our crowd doesn't help. Like everybody sighs when a back pass has, like you could hear it collectively, like the crowd going on, attack, attack, attack. So now you're scared because they don't have that confidence in playing the system. They haven't won enough games. They know that if they go out in the FA Cup, it's going to be a disaster. Like our players just don't have that mentality. They just don't right now. And until you bring in enough guys who do and who have that confidence, like I said to KJ during the game, I'm like, the only players that look like they even knew where each other would be or how to, it was Ahmad and Bruno. Everybody else looked lost for the first half. It was brutal. And I think that's a big part of it. I think it's like you are still trying to learn it. And the commentator said something when they're like, well, it's not working, but we know he's not going to change the system. And he didn't, and he won the game. So it kind of made them look stupid at the end, if I'm going to be honest. For me, when I was watching and I was thinking about like, why are we playing this guy left wing back? Everyone's like introvert. I don't agree with what he did, but I will say the positives I saw from like Drogu, and I think I saw it from Euro, and I'm going to say something that's very clear in his system. Pace and power. Malacia would never get to that one ball that Drogu got to, that he kept it in, started an attack. Yes, he didn't put in a great cross, but he got there, and that would have never happened with Malacia. And then Euro, it's going to go understated because he didn't make the saving tackle. Maz did, but Euro, that gut-busting sprint he made when they were going to break on us, and he just caught up just enough to put who I can't think it was Ndidi or somebody off the ball. Samari, yeah. And he just put him off just enough so the pass couldn't be perfect. That's what our team is sorely missing. You're seeing it now with now that you're seeing an injection of a little bit of pace, a little bit of power. It makes a big difference. And I think these players know that they're all on trial. So that's something that we're going to see a lot of. And I agree with you. People got to strap in, be ready for it.
And you know what? Part of me likes that. Sorry, I'm going to go to your next change. Part of me likes that because I feel that Man United has been a very easy place for players when actually it should be high pressure. And I almost feel like whether it's been by design or by luck, it doesn't really matter. I think Amorim, with the way he's behaved, it's created pressure for these players. But you're never going to get to the top at Man United unless you can handle adversity and pressure. And it was interesting. Tonight looked like the first time I've seen Garnacho play in about 5 weeks, where he looked a little bit more relaxed and free. All throughout that transfer window, he was like his body was taut and he went relaxed. And I know he made the mistake when he should have squared it to Højlund when he went for goal. But part of me almost felt he'd been so good, I kind of got why he went for it. But I just want to see more. I want to see more players, take risks. And it was the second balls for me. It was not winning the second balls because that is, it's either a laziness or a lack of bravery. And I almost felt like there was this element of, if I go for that second ball and I don't win it, then I might get exposed and the manager might tell me off and I might get in trouble. So they were just sitting deep. They were just staying in their position. Yeah. And there were times where Leicester were just winning every second ball and then playing the ball round us for ease. And I'm looking at it thinking, that ain't
real quick before you go to Sunday, because like this, before I forget this point, because I was going to bring it up with Garnacho, the one thing he did do that I was really impressed, he stood up and got counted. He came in and was like, I'm going to try to be the guy. That is why he took that shot. I was so pissed when he took that shot, but it was like, he was like, I'm going to be the guy. I need to be the guy. No one else is making anything happen. And we don't have enough players like that. And when Bruno does it, everybody gets mad. They're like, he's playing hero ball, but Bruno was too deep today to do any of that. Bruno knew he had to just control. He had a few balls that were bad.
I was thinking that as well today. I was watching the game, right? And I was like, We had no one trying to run off in the first half. Nobody was trying to run off the shoulder like Rashford used to do. And nobody was trying to play a line breaking pass like Bruno gets criticized for. And I'm not saying you want Bruno doing it every time he gets the ball. I agree. But this is the problem. Like, you need people taking risks in football. You never win football matches without taking risks. And the first half for me was just awful. But sorry, you were going to speak, KJ. I apologize.
Yeah, because you asked about the mentality. And the one thing that is frustrating is because we've seen them bring mentality to games. Even this season, we've seen it.
But no pressure in those games, KJ. Think about the games that
true. Like the roles were reversed in terms of we were the Leicester, we were the Southampton, the Rangers, the underdog in their game. No one gave us any hope, so then they bring up the levels. But this is where I'm like, so how can you not bring, like, if you can do that when you're seen as rubbish, how can you not do that when there's actual confidence that you will go and win? That's what I don't understand with these guys, especially when you saw them turn it on and we win. Like, it's baffling. It's baffling.
Mate, I've been talking about this for years. I totally concur with people. Like, the quality and the floor of quality needs to be raised at Man United. But you saw it. As soon as that goal went in, if we'd have played how we did from that goal until the end from the start, we win 4 or 5-0 tonight. But the players can't do it. And I do think the new system plays a part in that because they're just thinking all the time. And I don't know, when you think, sometimes you overthink. And I know some people don't like these expressions, but you can overtry and you can overthink. And when you do those things, you typically, the other night, if anyone was watching the UFC, Israel Adesanya, overreaching, over-trying. He was tense in his movements. He got knocked out. Adesanya, at his pomp, fully relaxed, the right mentality and believing in himself, he finishes that guy with simplicity, in my personal opinion.